You might have seen a viral TikTok where there is a progress bar and a growing sort of garden of flowers or potted plant that's growing as you check off this tasks. So I want to walk through what this formula combination is, how it's really cool. And I am doing this, by the way, without actually seeing exactly the formula used. This is my own idea and concept of this, so I haven't looked at the formula that they use, but I do want to share with you how to do this because you might want to create your own task list that has a growing something, right? And I'm going to show you how you can edit the images that are used and edit the pieces so that you can be more flexible with this in any of your task lists that you want to add this to. And also, in addition to images, once you know the core idea of this, which is counting if and counting the true, maybe you can do other things like emoji progress bars or completely other things inside of Sheets. It's really flexible, and I want to share this with you. So I want to show you it first. So here's a list of tasks. Maybe you have them on a Monday, Tuesday, and each day of the week, perhaps, or weekly tasks that you do at the first week of the month, second week of the month, no matter what. And if you start, as you start, you have nothing growing, right? And then you add one task, you're like, okay, I got something growing. You have some feedback. This is a really cool way to see, okay, have I grown as a person? Have I been doing these things that I need to do? And so I have these different images, and I use very poor mix of images just to show you that they are changing and they are completely different images. But let's go through this. Let me show you this, and you can see how it changes as the number of tasks are done. If you go from 0 to 1, it adds a little plant. If it goes from 1 to 2, it makes a bigger plant, and then even a bigger plant after that. And actually, after this, it's NA. We haven't gone. I just want to show you this simple one, and then you can add more as you go. The answer to this and the formula inside here is this, which is using 3 formulas. It is using switch, it is using COUNTIF, and image. I will show you all of this, but first, I want to show you how to set this up. One is you just have a set of, let's actually copy this and delete everything. Duplicate it, and we will delete this one. Let's just delete everything here, and even these checkboxes. So the first thing is create some tasks and add these checkboxes. So we go up to Insert, Checkbox, and we're going to just do that each and every column here, as many as you need. Now we have a blank canvas, but we don't necessarily have a blank canvas. We have to do one more thing to set this up. We need the images. I put these on a sheet called plants, just so that I would know the word that you'll see later when we type this out. Some simple word. It is literally just an image to a PNG here. Actually, one of them is a JPEG. I just found these online. You can do this, but I would actually recommend hosting your own images, especially one thing, if you are going to create a task management system and sell it to someone else, 100% you should be hosting your own images. If you are just doing this for fun, for your own personal use, then yeah, go find some Google images, and then you have to find the actual image URL. You cannot put these inside of a Google Drive and then access them there. You will have to actually host them online somewhere, or get the actual URL of the actual image, not just click the download button. I had to go to the download button and click and find the actual image address, URL. So you put those here, and what we're going to be doing is testing this image function. This image function is really cool. We can do image, literally equals image, and you can have any URL online that is an image, and it will show up here. It can be a chart, it can be a piece together API. You can sometimes get a URL from an API, or you can get a static image that is hosted somewhere, like here on Clip Art Library. Image is really powerful function and formula inside of Google Sheets. That's the next setup. So 2 things. We have our checkboxes. Yes, we have our plants, the images that we want to show. And specifically, they're in an order. There's the ground, and then there's a little sprout, and then there's a potted plant with a bigger sprout, and then there's a much larger sprout. So you can use multiple images here that are of the same thing that is just growing, and it will look a little neater than this. I wanted to show that there is a different, though. So I did this sort of on purpose, badly, to show that there is a real difference between when you click and see the different images. Okay, so let's start. The first thing we're going to do is type in the equal sign, and we're going to do switch. Switch is a really powerful formula that gives us one expression and then tells us, and then we can say, based on this expression, what is the result of that, and do different values for different results. In the case of switch, they give you expression, which is going to be, this is actually probably the hardest part of this whole thing, is count if. The range is going to be B2 here, B2 to B7. The criterion is going to be true. We just want to count if it's true. Checkboxes are really cool because they're automatically true or false, and that is it. You can actually change that, and that's a more advanced function. If you want to, like, you can change it to yes or no, but I like keeping it as true or false. It is simple, it is built in, it is baked in, it's awesome. So that's it. We use the count if. Now it's going to count any time that there are checkboxes. Let me delete this switch and just show you real quick what this is going to do. Here, 0 because nothing is checked. We have 1 checked, that changes to 1. This changes to 2 when we have 2, 3, and if we uncheck it, it goes back down to 2. So this count if is just going to give us the count of how many trues there are, or how many checkboxes are checked. Okay, let's wrap that back up with switch. There we go. Now, that's our expression. We know, okay, it's going to be 0 to n. However many there are here, we're going to have some counts. Now, what do we do? How do we say, if it's 0, show this image. If it's 1, show this image. We do comma. And now we have case and value. Case 1, value 1. In the case of 0, we literally type in the 0, nothing else. We don't have to put it in quotes. We don't have to do any formulas here. We literally put in the number 0. We can do comma, value. Now, what do we want to show when it's 0? We might want to have nothing, but in this case, we want to have that ground. So we're going to type in image, and we know that it is on the plants sheet. So we're going to just type plants, exclamation mark, and A1. That is the URL of the very first plant that we want to show. And we're going to just end it right here, and I'll show you the next steps once we see this. So now we have this image of ground. It's going to go away, and we're actually going to get an error if we actually have 1. But we can copy and paste this all the way over. But why is it not working? What happened here? It's because these are relative. The formula, the arrays are relative, so they are changing. Look, we have B1 here, which we didn't do, C2 here to C7. We need to bake these in. We need to keep these the same, so we need to lock them in with this $sign. We're going to put a $sign in front of the B's and in front of the A. And the 1 I think we want to do as well. We might actually want to bake in the B2 to B7 just in case we want to put this somewhere else. But now we copy and paste. Perfect. We are absolutely on the way to having this done all over. But again, we have a problem. Once we hit this, what's going on? Nothing's happening, right? We want something to happen. We want it to grow. All right, go back to our image, add another comma. Now we're in case 2. Okay, so we have case 1, which is 0, case 2, which is just the number 1. We just want to know, okay, if it's one thing checked, comma, image, we're going to retype plants, and instead of 1, we want A2, and we're going to end that parentheses there. So let's look at that. Let's just hit enter, and if we have 1, boom, it is a sprout. Now look, all these are changing as well. Why is that? It's because I made a mistake earlier on. I locked in this B column, and you probably saw me do that and said, oh my god, no, it's going to be an error. Well, whatever, we fixed the error already once we start testing this stuff out, right? And now we have our 1, but our 2 isn't working. What do we do with our 2? How do we get that to work? Same exact thing. We add a comma, and we add the number 2, which is now case 3. So we have case 1, which is 0, case 1, which is 1, case 3, which is now 2. And we go image, we type in plants, and we can do A with the $signs, and we can do A3. It is the 3rd row on the plants A column. Now we can let's just add the 4th one. I think we have 4. Yeah, we have 4 of them. So we can do, if there's 3 checked off, image, not images, image, plants, and then do A4. There we go. So now, as we click this, let's just test. That's 1, 2, 3. Now we get an error here, but you can see the logical progression if you want to add more images, if you want to add more plants, or what's more interesting too is you can change this case. Instead of 0, instead of 1, maybe it is nothing and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get an error when it's 0 because we don't have a case of 0. So maybe we add this here, 0, and we just have nothing. We have no dirt at all, right? If we have nothing, if we have 1 now, we have some dirt. We've started tilling, we started this motion, right? We might want that. And that's how you do that. If you add that 0, comma, and then have nothing inside of there, it'll show nothing if it's 0. So let's say, though, you want 1 and 2 to be the same image. So one thing you can do is just change that A2 to A1. So now we have 0, 1, 2, and 2. 1 and 2 don't change, but 2 and 3 change. And now we want maybe 4 to be the same as 3. So we can change these A2 to A2. And now we have more options. We can do 5. And we can say image plants A3, I think. So now we have a much slower growth. We have nothing if there's 0. Now we have some ground, plant, and then potted plant, right? Now we have some error when we have 6. So we can keep adding to this if we want. Maybe we don't want any change. Maybe we have 10 tasks we need to do and only 5 images. But sometimes we want incremental changes, so you can take your pick. You can choose either, okay, every single checkbox checked is going to have some feedback, which is actually really important to have and really good to have, that every single action has some feedback and some visceral, real feedback. I think this is a really cool progress chart, really great way to visualize your own progress, especially around habits or daily tasks that help great habits. And I hope that this video helped you understand how this works and how you can implement this, and also gives you some flexibility of changing those images to something else, changes the images, also changes the way you use those images if you want to do them very fast or very slow based on multiple criteria. Instead of just 0, 1, 2 always changing, you can have the same image in multiple ones, so it has a slower curve. And hopefully this combination has been very helpful. We have switch, count if, and image all in here. Hope you enjoyed watching that and understanding literally how it's built, that viral TikTok sheet. If you're looking to actually get better at Google Sheets every single day, check out this video where I share some tips and tricks generally about how to get better. And if you're looking to become a Better Sheets member, you want to get inside of Netflix for Google Sheets, essentially, check out this video. I'll show you what's inside.